Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. And today you're gonna see this shirt a couple of times. Today I'm trying to get some videos done, but today we are going to do the battle of the sponges. So I have given in, I gave in months ago. I want to say, was it around Christmas time? I think so, when I bought these. Yeah, I'm sure. So I gave in and bought the microfiber Juno brushes that I saw on Instagram. So what I am going to do, I am going to battle it with the Beauty Blender. Now, if you've seen this, this packaging, Beauty blenders do not come like this. And this is when you know you buy too much crap. I bought this at the last, what's the name that happens at Sephora? The VIB Rouge. I couldn't find nothing else to purchase because I damn near have everything that I ever wanted. So I decided to get some sponges, and I haven't opened this out. I mean, I haven't opened to touch nothing. This was November, November is when I got this untouched. So we're going to compare the sponges today. So if you're interested in seeing how each sponge works, well, technically the video is about this one. I think everybody knows how the Beauty Blender works. We're trying to see if this one compares to this one. So if you're interested in seeing what it does and see the comparison between the two sponges, stay tuned. But before you get cozy, go ahead and click the subscribe button. It is right in this area right here, and also right next to it is the notification bell. I know videos come when they come, but understand, I always think of you guys. So if you click the notification bell, you'll know when the next one is coming. So go ahead and click it. It's right there. Click it.
Bad girls don't.
So I saw the sponge on Instagram and I was like, interesting. So let me pull it out. And I bought 3. I bought 2 of the teardrop, the Drew drop. That's what it's called. That's dumb. Okay. So I bought 2 of the Drew drop and 1 of the sculpting sponge. So, and I plan on using all of them today. I would like to say because I want to see how they perform dry and how they perform wet. I think that's what I want to do. So here are how the Juno sponges look. So you have the traditional Beauty Blender looking sponge, and then you also have the one with the flat surface. So there's a wider flat surface right here, and then you have somewhat of a smaller one. I don't know what the difference would be between the two. I don't know. Coverage maybe? Oh yeah, maybe coverage. So maybe if I wanted a smaller coverage, I would use this side. I don't know how that works, but that would be my logic behind why there are 2 different sides to this. And so yeah, so we're going to compare this one up against the Beauty Blender. So what it says about this one is that these are $6 and let me pull a Beauty Blender out. And this was so cute when I got it. Look at them. And they smell like peppermint because it comes with soap. So what color should I use? I'll use the blue and the green. Okay, so already in size, they're different. So clearly, this is the Beauty Blender and this is the Juno. So in size, they're both dry. As far as the density, they both feel the same, but this is way smaller. This is $20, this is $6, okay? So in comparison, this one states it has natural airbrushed microfibers that pick up, lock your product in place, perfect for liquid foundations, concealers, contours, whatever. You can use wet and dry. Kind of somewhat like this one, application streak-free, doesn't, minimum product waste. It's not minimum. And you can use it with foundations and powders, which is true. Now the only difference that I feel that will be, because this one claims that it just locks the product on top of it. It won't absorb it like this one would. Like instantly see how this one gets dirty, and then when you try to wash it out, it stains like the product. You can see the product on the outside of this, versus I guess this one's stating that it won't do that. Like, I guess someone on Instagram or the company cut the product in half and you will see zero product in this sponge. I'm not doing that because I don't want to waste my $6. $6 means a lot in my world. So I am going to do one side of my face using the Beauty Blender and the other side using this. And the foundation that I'm going to use today, and I have never used this foundation before, so kind of knocking all these stones out, all these burrs out in one sitting. So I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear foundation. I'm not going to do a wear test. I just want to see how this applies. If you guys are interested in seeing how this lasts, if you want me to do a wear test on this particular foundation, let me know. You can tell I haven't been in front of the camera in a while. Let me know in the comment section. I will go ahead and do that for you. I also, for the concealer, I'm trying a new concealer as well, and this is the Milani Conceal Perfect. I know L'Oreal, I know that they came out with new concealers, but none of the shades drew me in. They just looked weird to me. So I decided to try the Milani. So we'll see how these two products work together. And again, if you want me to do any wear tests on the concealer and the foundation, let your girl know. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and wet both sponges, and I'll be right back. So now that I have wet them, so again, Beauty Blender and the Juno sponge. So this is just a fatter sponge in comparison to this one. Still, density feels the same. The only thing is when I was rinsing this out, when I was squeezing out the water, it looked kind of foamy, soapy. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but I was just like, yo, why is it coming out like that? So, don't know what that's about. So, I'm going to do the Beauty Blender side first, which I'll do it on this side. I don't even know why I bought this shade. Man, that's why I hate buying drugstore foundation. Don't ever know what it's going to look like. And this is in the shade, where is it? Did I tear it off? 530. I don't know what it is. When I find out, Lord, I'll put it up on the screen when I find it. Oh, Deep Amber. Okay, so with the sponge, alright, we're not even here for the foundation. Good grief. I'm glad I am doing this on an off day. If I would have done this, to go to work, I would have been pissed. Well, hopefully the concealer will help me out here. Okay, so with the Beauty Blender, I don't know if you guys can see that you can see some of my scarring still using this. Now, that is no reflection on the sponge per se. It just might be the foundation that is just medium coverage. So let's see what the Juno the Juno sponge does. So what I'm noticing so far, oh damn, I should have showed you on this one, but the product is just sitting on top to where this one kind of absorbs into the sponge. Oh, I can tell off the top. That might have been too much. Oh yeah, oh. Oh, wait a second. Okay, we all know this shade is all wrong, right? It is definitely full coverage. Like, you can see like some of my scoring right here, but I feel like it's because of how I'm stippling the brush onto it. Alright, so let's try that with the concealer. And I probably could have went slightly lighter on the concealer too. You don't need a lot of product for this thing too. Good Lord. Alright, let's try with the Juno sponge first. Oh, what shade did I get this in? In the shade Warm Chestnut. I would have gone a little lighter. Again, now that I can see that it is definitely full coverage, is like, I can save a lot of product. Girl, this is horrible. Like, there's no saving this. And then trying to blend out the shade with this particular sponge. Trying to blend it out since the product doesn't absorb into the sponge. It's just sitting right out on top. I feel like and my hands are getting messy. But the coverage is beautiful. Slightly on the messy side though, but what I do like better as far as the Beauty Blender goes is that the size of it. I don't need a gigantic sponge. The coverage is completely different. This is a mess. Okay, so let's try. So let's try with the powder. And I did, like I said, I wet my sponge. But a lot cakes up here, so I don't know if that'll be a good thing. Okay, I don't like it with the powder. I don't like it damp. I'm not doing anything differently than I would normally do it. And you waste a lot of product with it being damp. Okay, so use the Beauty Blender on the other side. The Beauty Blender definitely wins using powder and the sponge being damp. I just feel like it looks completely different. This looks mad cakey in comparison to that. Let's try with the dry sponge to see if the application is better with the powder. God, my hands are mad messy, but it's so stiff. Okay, we're not doing that. It just feels mad stiff. But you know what? I don't think I have to re-dip my sponge once it's wet because it's just sitting up top. But I just don't think I would gravitate towards this one. You won't definitely have to double dip once you pick it up, but I still don't like the application of it. I would say that for the Juno sponge, if you wanted to use it all over your face, maybe for powders to dampen it, it'd be best for you to spread it all over your face than do it for the under eye. I think that picking up powdered products with a damp Juno sponge is just too much. But as you can see, if you spread it around, it looks better. Okay, brushing it off. The Juno brush. Why do I keep calling it a brush? The Juno sponge definitely gives more a flawless coverage versus the Beauty Blender. You can still see all my scarring, at least I think so, using the Beauty Blender, and you see a very full, refined coverage on the side that I used the Juno sponge. So I definitely would recommend the Juno sponge. I also would recommend the Beauty Blender. You may not want a full coverage day using the Beauty Blender. And also too, it does absorb the product more. This one, I feel like with the Juno sponge, it would be able to hold on to your product longer because you won't need a lot. I feel like I put a lot of foundation on this Juno sponge and I was able to spread it. Like I would have been able to, the amount that I put on the sponge, I feel like I could have used on my entire face and still have a flawless coverage. So I will be using the sponge more just to, you know, see how I like it. I don't like it on the powders. I think that is just too much for the powder. And it also could have been the style of sponge that I used. I feel like maybe on this side was just too much to apply there. You waste a lot of powder. So you don't waste a lot of liquid, but you will waste a lot of powder if you use it damp, or just use your powdered sponge with this one. So I would recommend that you use your Beauty Blender for your powders if you want to damp it or whatever and have a nice veil of powder over your face. But I would say that if you wanted to use this sponge for your entire face, this might be the better sponge because it gives a fuller coverage with the powder. But yeah, $6, $20. $6, So I feel like I probably will buy more of these. I really don't ever get beauty blenders. Let's start there. I like my sponges from Target, the Thaliaseyecandy, whatever you say. I like their sponges. I only bought these because I had my VIB Rouge, and why not? I was able to get 4 sponges with soap for, I don't know, at the time I think $58, something like that. When they run $20 a pop. So I would say this is the better buy, and you get a better coverage, a nice, good, flawless coverage at that. So yeah, go ahead and get you one. I would definitely leave the information down in the description box if you are interested in getting a Juno sponge. Let me know down in the comment section what sponge you thought did a better job. And you know, I know the foundation was no, but I will say the concealer, once I find my better shade for this, I think that the concealer will be pretty dope. This one was just a little dark, possibly. If I pair it up with my everyday foundation, it might be different, but the concealer, I like the way, and it was a nice full coverage. I really dug it. And even the foundation, once I get my shade, we'll see. So let me know down in the comment section too if you want me to do a wear test once I find my right shade, because this one was a little dark, and I feel like how dark it is, it might oxidize on me. So yeah. Alright guys, that is it for this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you want to connect with your girl on my social media platforms, you can go ahead and follow me on Thaliaseyecandy. That would be on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. Yeah. And I'll catch you all in the next. Bye.
Don't get it twisted, don't think I'm that type of chick.